I've been using this simple content optimization strategy, and it's helped me more than double the organic traffic that my client's website has received in 3 months. Today, I'm going to be showing you the exact process that I use, as well as the results I've achieved, and I'll be leaving the exact content brief that I use for this process in the description of this video, so you can copy it yourself. I've developed this specific process using Neuron Writer and Claude that lets me do this systematically for all of my clients. Let me walk you through when I started doing this, what happened to my clients' rankings and traffic, and then the exact step-by-step process that I use. So if we take a look in the Google Analytics of this client's account, I am on landing pages, so I'm looking at landing page engaged sessions, and I have filtered this for organic traffic and to be Australian traffic only. I've also set a date from the 15th of August to the 15th of November, so this is a 3-month period, and as you can see, the traffic that we have acquired over that 3-month period is 1,906 engaged sessions. An engaged session is someone who lands on the site and they are there for 10 or more seconds and click through to 1 or more pages. So it's just a little bit more accurate rather than someone who's landed on the site and just bounced. So what I'm going to do now with this data is just compare this to the previous 3-month period. So I click on compare and previous period. So it's going to be 3 months. And then it should filter this data for us. As you can see, for engaged sessions, we're up 139%. And if you look at all of the articles, this one here is going from 25 to 478, 191, 346, 218, 261. And as you can see, every single one of these articles have seen a pretty significant increase in organic sessions. And essentially all of this is just due to the process that I've been implementing, and that is re-optimizing the existing content through NeuronWriter and then putting all of the outputs into Claude and then rewriting the content. For this client, I've done about 6 articles already, and today I will be re-optimizing an article for a different client of mine, and we'll be going through the tool NeuronWriter, and I'll be going step by step through the process so that you can follow along and implement this yourself as well. This tool, along with many others, is featured on the recommended tools page of my website, so I will leave a link in the description if you want to check those out. But down here I have a section talking about NeuronWriter, and then I also go into detail how you can access a lifetime deal on AppSumo, and that is exactly what I'm using today. I paid about $100 and I have lifetime access tool. If not, it can cost $100 to $200 per month. So I'd recommend looking for a deal on AppSumo before you start paying for this product. So how does NeuronWriter actually work? So what it does is it basically compares your article to all the other top ranking articles on Google search results, and then it will provide you with a list of entities, which are basically just words or phrases or keywords, and then it will give you a recommended amount of times it thinks you should use this throughout the content. So if you look over here on the right side, it will say for this article here, Crime Rates Brisbane, it'll give you a list of entities and then however many times it recommends you use them throughout the content. So what we'll be doing is taking these entities and the recommended usage and then feeding it into Claude along with a few other things, including keywords, word count, and competitor articles, and then we'll get Claude to regenerate this article based on this new information we have provided. As you can see over here, NeuronWriter actually has a scoring system. So right now this article as it is at a 50, and I think it tells you here the average or the highest among competitors are 55. So if we go ahead and add a bunch more of these entities into our content and we improve this score above 55, we're a much higher chance of outranking all these other competitor articles in the search results. Okay, I'm just going to run through this process from scratch so you see exactly how this is done. I'm just going to click on new query. So now we just want to add in our primary keyword into this box here. So we go over to our SEO spreadsheet. I have all the information for this article recorded right here. So our primary keyword is Crime Rates Brisbane, and then these are 3 secondary keywords. So I'm just going to copy this one and enter that. Once that is done, you'll then find it at the top of your list here. And then if you click through to this, we can then start selecting some competitor articles. So it has now analyzed the search results of Google and provided you with a list. And we need to now select at least 5 sources that we want to use as part of our research. This is a bit of a weird one because it is a crime rate statistic article. So there's going to be a lot of sites like the Queensland Police and Queensland Crime Statistics that aren't really written like a normal article, but we can still feature some of the information that they use in our own. So basically what I want to do, if you're not sure, just open in a new tab and have a read through and make sure the information in here is correct and what you're after. So I'll just go through and make sure I select a number of these. This is actually our own article, so I won't include that one. Top 10. This one here is actually a competitor article, and they're trying to do the same thing. So I'm going to add that one in. We'll actually have a quick look at this one. It's probably going to be written very similar to how we are planning on doing it. That's a good one. Maybe just quickly see if there's any others that may be worthwhile. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to click on next, and it's going to generate our working document for us. Okay, we now have our working document and we are back to where we were before. And now basically all we're looking for here is these entities, and we're going to copy all of these and then feed them into our content brief within Claude, so then we can regenerate this content. So to do that, you just want to click on here and then copy them with terms with suggested uses. So you want to copy that one and then paste it into your brief. And then there's also an extended list. I like to copy those as well. All right, so this is what we have so far in terms of our content brief. We have the title, we have the type of article, word length we need to still decipher. So I'm going to just go through all of the top competitor articles and take an average, and then that is what I'll be aiming for. Obviously, client, target reader, Brisbane homeowners, because it's for Brisbane, a little message, tone. So for my other client, I've already written one and they are on the Gold Coast. So I know that I want to follow that structure pretty closely. For keywords, crime rates Brisbane is the number one keyword. So back in that document, crime rates Brisbane, and then I've added the secondary keywords as well, which are these 3. And then under here, I will just add the competitor articles and then those entities that we just got given within NeuronWriter. So I'll just go and do that very quickly. Okay, I've now added the competitor articles, and now I just need to add the neuron entities. So over here, I will just click on copy with suggested use, paste that one there, and then I'll grab the extended list, copy that one, and paste as well. So now we've got all of these as well. And we've got a note here to incorporate these naturally throughout the content so that it doesn't seem like you're sort of stuffing any of these words or keywords. Just lastly, how I find the word count of these articles, if I just search word counter here, I'll just literally grab this article, just copy it, paste that in, and that's 833 words. So I'll just do that across all of the competitor articles, and then I'll just take the average, and that is our target word count. So I've just added here that our word count goal is 1,200 to 1,400 words. So now this brief is complete, and we can run this through Claude to re-optimize our content. And if you actually haven't got any content, this exact same process applies for writing brand new content as well. Just copy, paste that in here. Generate this article as per the above brief and send that off. So this Claude has now just generated our new optimized article. You never want to just straight copy this out of Claude. You want to go through every single line and just make sure all of the information makes sense and it's accurate and just sounding the way that you want it. Just from the first thing I looked at here, it says 2025. We actually just ticked over to 2026, so I would change that. And then, yeah, I'll just go through all of these sections and just make sure it makes sense and it's relevant to your business. One other thing that I forgot to mention before in the brief is that you can ask Claude to make your article sound humanized so that it will essentially not flag Google that this content is completely AI written. And with their new EEAT sort of guidelines, this is something that they're really looking for at the moment because they're really trying to crack down on how much AI sort of spam content is on the internet. Okay, I'm now going to grab our new optimized article and I am going to put it back into NeuronWriter to see if we have made any improvements. Copy that, delete that, and we'll paste the new content in there, and this should load in a second. Awesome. So we've just taken this content score from 50 all the way up to 79, and you can see we have far more green in this sidebar here because we've included all of these entities throughout the content more frequently. So there you go. That is how you take your content from 50 to a 79, which is well above the average. What you now want to do is just grab your new optimized content and just update the current article with all the new content. And then once you're done with that, I like to republish the page to the current date. And the reason we do this is because if you publish this article, say 2 years ago, Google is going to rank you based on your website authority back then. If you are to now republish the page with your new refreshed content and you've been doing link building, you now will have far more website authority and trust, and Google will reevaluate this article based on your new and improved authority. So you're going to have a much greater chance of ranking higher up in Google. So what you do is, if you want to do that, is you come over to the post, and under published here, you can actually just select the date, and what you do is select now, and then that will republish this article to today's date. And then lastly, as always, what you want to do is grab the URL and submit it to Google Search Console. This will prompt Google to come back to your site, recrawl this page, and then reanalyze all of the content on it, so it will start ranking much faster. So there you have it. That is my entire process of how I am re-optimizing blog content on my clients' websites and seeing amazing results, more than doubling the traffic on that client that I showed you. I still use this exact same strategy with the content brief and the NeuronWriter entities, even when I'm writing a service page. It's just a little bit more intricate because, for instance, if you are talking about a company that deals crimp-safe, they're going to talk about their products and maybe their screw clamp technology, whereas a product like Lock Security here, they deal prowler-proof and they have welded technology. So NeuronWriter is going to get a little bit confused and recommend sort of entities that aren't relevant to your business. So you have to be a lot more selective and sort of remove those entities in the brief creation process so that you get much more accurate data when generating this content. It'll also require you to manually go through the content a lot more and pick little pieces out and make sure it makes sense. Typically, focusing on just content alone will not be enough to get all of your pages to the top of Google. You will also need to be doing some level of link building. So if you want to learn all about that and how you can steal your competitors' backlinks and build them towards your own site and start outranking them, I'll leave a link above the video right now so you can click through and watch that. If you found this video useful, please give it a like and also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any future content just like this. Cheers.